Welcome to another episode of V4 Veganism. I am here with Nora Kramer. She is the director and founder of YEA CAMP. How and when did you start this amazing camp?
Well, the when part is the easy question. That was in 2009, so this is our 9th year that we are in right now.
Amazing.
How is a bit more complicated, but I've been an activist for a long time. I've been an activist probably since the late 90s. And I was kind of stumbling along trying to figure out how to make the biggest difference that I could. And I found that young people, when I talked to them about animal rights and veganism and the environment or other social justice issues that I was passionate about, that young people often, their first response is to think about, well, what can I do about this? How can I help? And I found that a lot of times adults, of course this is a generalization, but adults tended to be more kind of jaded and resigned. That's just the way of the world. That's just how life is.
It's just life. Life is unfair.
Yeah, I'm just one person. What can I do? And I got really curious, like what happens from when people are younger and they are more idealistic to when people are older and they can't even bother to vote or even register to vote. Like what is that level of apathy? Where did it come from? And I feel like what happens is that we don't, as a society, in terms of our schooling, in terms of the media, in terms of our institutions, we don't support people at the time that they need support in the ways that they need to be supported. So our curriculum is based on building knowledge, skills, confidence, and community. And I feel like those are 4 core areas that if you don't really understand why are these problems happening, what could be done about them, if you're not learning different skills of how to be able to address them, if you don't have the confidence, you don't believe in yourself, and you don't even see role models of understanding how others have made a difference. And maybe you feel alone, maybe you're not connected, you don't know what other organizations are out there. It's really an environment that it's pretty impressive for anybody to become an activist or anybody to really feel empowered to go and do something. So I started volunteering at an after-school program. This was in 2001 in San Francisco at a middle school. And I had a lot of parents and students ask me for suggestions of things that their kids could do during the summer. They were too young to intern or to volunteer even at the animal shelter. And I had gone to camp as a kid and thought there's probably a summer camp for teen activists. I knew there were sports camps and theater camps and music camps, and so I started looking around. Yeah, there you go. And figured there should be something like that out there, and I started researching it, and I just really wasn't finding what I wanted to recommend. And so I worked at different camps every summer and got my teaching credential and really pursued this, became a camp director at another camp, and in 2009 launched our first YEA CAMP.
Awesome. Where did you launch the first one?
The first one was in California, Northern California. Yeah, we've kind of evolved over the years. We had a camp in Oregon for 6 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then we have had a camp in Massachusetts. So this is our 3rd year at Woodstock Farm Sanctuary. And we're just really fortunate to be able to have the camp here because Woodstock Sanctuary had outgrown their original location, and they were looking to purchase a new property, and it just so happened the property that they found that was for sale was a former summer camp. And so when they purchased it, they knew that they only wanted to have vegan groups here, and they knew about us, so they reached out to us and said, hey, we bought this camp, do you want to hold YEA CAMP at our sanctuary? And I was like,
that's great.
Yeah, of course. So our standard regular YEA CAMP session is actually not about any one particular topic. All of the campers choose, we call it their IOI, their issue of importance that they want to focus on. And it's any social justice issue that's important to them. So it could be related to animal rights or vegetarianism or the environment, or it could be a human rights issue. They choose whatever they're passionate about. And so, but all of our food is vegan at all of our sessions. And so we do a workshop the first evening, but before dinner, the first night, about why our food might be a little bit different than what some people are used to. And we always attract a lot of vegetarians and vegans to come to our camp, because if you Google vegan summer camp, you're gonna find us quickly. Because we have this amazing location at an animal sanctuary, we've decided that we should do a special session just for animal advocates, because we were attracting so many animal advocates already because of our food.
Right.
So our other sessions this year in Massachusetts and California are not about any one cause. So we have campers who are passionate about animal issues and are vegetarian or vegan, as well as campers who are passionate about racism and sexism, homophobia, bullying in their school, issues around immigration and poverty, and a lot of different human rights issues, as well as the environment and different animal issues.
So Joyce is a brand new counselor here at YEA CAMP. You were just in Massachusetts where you were a CIT.
Yeah.
What does that stand for? Counselor in training. Beginner counselor. Now, a little birdie named Nora told me that you are very involved with an anti-bullying campaign at your school. Where are you from?
I live in New Jersey. I go to Pemberton Township High School. A few years ago, I was in a private school and I went through some very intense bullying. So after that, it really affected me and I went through some hard times. So after I came to YEA Camp in, I believe, 2014, it was my first year, and they really worked well with teaching me how to cope with that and how to help others. And we do some really good workshops on how to, be educated more about it and to do more awareness around you. And I'm in another club called Y, which stands for We Help You. And it's a group for people who are suffering with depression or anxiety and who don't really feel welcomed in our community. And if they're ever experiencing any bullying, they can come to us, and we do a lot of activities and workshops where we meet other people and we go to senior citizen homes and talk to them.
You became vegetarian after being here at YEA Camp.
Yeah, actually, because camp ends on Sunday, so at camp we talk about oh, just try meatless Mondays. They don't want to say, oh, you have to go vegan right away, which I know it's hard for some people. So after camp, I talked to my mom about oh yeah, I really think I want to try this. So I did some more research, and it was just after camp, I was Mom, let's do Meatless Monday tomorrow. And she was but it was really good. So we actually we didn't have any meat, and it was actually kind of just vegetables, but like that. So I was this isn't that bad. So the next day we went to the store, we went to Wegmans and got some food. And I've been vegetarian for 4 years. And my mom's so accepting. I love her so much. And she was willing to just...
Shout out to Mom.
Woo! I love you, girl. And so she went to the store and she bought some things for me. And she still eats meat, but she's really so supportive. So she cooks everything for me. So she kind of cooks for herself and then cooks for me. But sometimes she actually really tries to just eat vegetarian with us. Mm-hmm. And my dad, he's super awesome. Shout out to you too. He actually went vegetarian with me. So we've been doing
awesome.
It together.
This is Uni. He's one of the counselors here at YEA Camp. What kind of workshops are you guys doing?
Well, some of the workshops that I've done is on fundraising, I've helped with communication, nonviolent communication, and communication for activists, teaching about how farm animals are raised for food and what people are doing to challenge that. Mm-hmm. And many others. Yeah. We're on the long-term game to make a really effective, powerful movement for animals. We need to help train another generation of activists.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How did you get involved with YEA Camp?
I saw Nora and Pierce tabling at the New York Veg Fest.
Okay.
So I remember you guys coming up and talking to Lillian. So it was something like that. I just came up, me and Nora started chatting for a while, and then next thing you know, we was just wow, this is she's awesome. The camp must be awesome. It's her camp. She told me so much about it. I'm I can't believe I ain't had nothing like this when I was young.
That's what we said too.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we said.
Everybody this. I know that's this is in my soul. That's just something we all resonate with. But
yeah.
So I was all right, I definitely have to be a part of this, or just give back to these children who are coming to a camp like this, because they're just gonna be mini versions of what I am now.
Yeah.
Because it took me a while to get to where I'm at.
Yep.
To care about stuff.
What does your job entail?
Staff, leading activities, workshops, kitchen, cleaning. That sums up a lot. Yeah. It's only 4 things, but it's a lot.
Yeah. So are you vegan?
Well, nah, I just eat healthy. I'm plant-based most of the time. I eat honey, a lot of honey. Mm-hmm. So I'm a vegan. How about, yeah. I haven't eaten animals in such a long time, or dairy, any animal product in such a long time.
This is Tegan the vegan. How did you find out about YEA Camp?
Well, I was vegetarian before I came to this camp, and my mom was looking for vegan camps around, and we have a house around here, so I came here from there, and I became vegan because everyone inspired me so much.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So what's it like being vegan in Dallas, Texas?
It's really hard, but we've come a long way actually. So I know Nora and a lot of other people have gone and worked at Veg Fest there, so there are a lot of new vegan restaurants and smoothie places, and yeah, it's come a long way.
So what is it like actually being vegan and being in school?
Well, I don't have any friends who are vegetarian or vegan, so I get made fun of a lot. I mean, obviously they're not trying to hurt me, but it's just like a tease thing.
Yeah.
And I try and tell them how it can change the world, and we need to cut down on our meat, because with climate change and everything, eventually you won't have it anymore, and it's difficult because not everyone wants to listen.
So this is Ashley, and she's another camper here at YEA Camp. How old are you?
I am 13.
How did you find your way to YEA Camp?
So when I was around 11 and 12, I became vegan, and I was the only vegan around that was a kid, and like I had a really hard time with school and everything. It was like really hard for me because like I had no one to talk to. My dad like really understood that, so he's also vegan, so he like did some research and he found YEA Camp.
So you said, so this is your second year at YEA Camp?
Yes.
Yeah, and do you feel like this is more where you're comfortable than say like in school where people don't really understand?
For sure, like I mean, I do some of the craziest stuff here, and like I do a couple of the craziest things at my school, but the thing is, it's like I can't really talk about how I feel about some stuff.
What do you mean by crazy stuff?
So it's not like crazy in a bad way, but we do YEA show and we do like crazy things with it, and then we do a poem. So we have like 2 poems. We act it out like really crazy. We can do it in sassy, we can clap our hands, we can do whatever we want with it, and it's some of the best things ever.
So you get to just be really creative and just be yourself
Yeah.
here. Yeah. Where are you from?
I'm from Arizona.
So I assume that being vegan, you're surrounded by a lot of like meat eaters. That,
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Like I think when I drive on the way home, I at least see 2 Trump signs.
Yeah, it makes sense.
That's where we live.
So Sky, you said you have a YouTube channel. Tell us a little bit about that.
So I started it about 8 months ago. It's called Positively Vegan, and I talk a lot about nutrition and exercise, but I also talk a lot about like my life in general, and just how being vegan can affect your life but improve it greatly.
So have you always been vegan, or you became vegan later in life?
So I went vegan last year, so I've been vegan for probably about a year and a half now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are your parents vegan or vegetarian?
So my mom is almost completely vegan, and my dad is pretty much pescatarian. My brother is not, but he's getting there.
Okay. And did they influence you, or you influenced them?
I influenced them. I actually went vegan overnight, which is very rare.
Yeah.
I watched Cowspiracy and Gary Gorosky's speech, and right away I just knew that I had to go vegan.
Those will getcha. Yeah. Well, that's incredible that you have this YouTube channel and that you're influencing people. Where are you from?
I'm from Kansas, actually.
Kansas.
Yeah, I moved there 4 years ago from Boston.
So how did you find your way to YEA Camp, and are you vegan?
I am a vegan as of last month, though I have fluctuated from being a vegetarian to a raw vegan. But I've been a vegetarian like basically my whole life, and I came here because I wanted to learn more about how being a vegan can help the environment and the animals, and I want to get more into activism, so.
Cool.
Yeah.
And are your parents vegan or activists?
My mom is a vegan and an activist, but my dad is like a vegetarian with some exceptions on some days, and I'm trying to get him to go vegan.
I hear a little accent. Where are you from?
Yeah, I'm from South Carolina.
South Carolina, okay.
Yeah, my dad's side of the family is very southern, so that's probably what it's from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And are you vegan?
I'm kind of on like a journey
Okay.
of going vegan, for
Yeah.
lack of a better word for it.
Yep.
But Yeah, I've been trying to go vegan I've been taking it very slow because like my family used to always we were huge meat eaters for the longest time, and I've always just been loving animals forever. Like my mom always says she feels lucky that I never tried to bring home a squirrel or anything, but when I was younger, but I had a friend who was a vegetarian, and I always questioned the morals around it, and I started doing my own research, and that's when I really started getting into it. And so I'm pretty much a pescatarian right now, and I do only drink soy milk right now, so I'm slowly taking things out, swapping things in like that. I've been doing it for about 8 or 9 months now, so I'm taking it very slow, but it's going really well that way too. So I definitely enjoy it so far. I have noticed a change in my energy levels too. I have more energy. It feels good. Yeah, it really does just feel good. So.
And how did you find out about YEA CAMP?
YEA CAMP, actually my mom found the camp, and she sent the website to me to go take a look at it. And actually the funny thing is that I found out it was on a farm sanctuary, and I was already sold that I wanted to come here. I actually found out it was a vegan camp a little bit after that too.
Yeah.
And then I was completely sold on the idea of going. So it's been an amazing experience here too. All the kids here are amazing, so nice, including these two. And it's just, everyone here is so nice, and it's so awesome to hear the different stories, see where everyone's morals are on the topic of animal rights, animal welfare, whichever one you're going for, or both. But that's mainly the reason I came to YEA CAMP, is because I wanted to meet more people in the community and hear what their stories were, and just talk to other people that are kind of like me and have the same views as you, because it's kind of nice to have that.
Yeah. So how did you find your way to YEA CAMP?
My dad noticed me to be an activist online, and posting things about pro-choice and how being LGBT doesn't affect you and things like that. And so he said that this is a camp group for young activists. So I said I would really want to go.
So you told me that you live in Florida. How did you even become a young activist, living in an area where maybe not so many people are?
So I live in a privileged neighborhood, and my family is very liberal. And I started to notice that there was no people of color in my neighborhood, and that I didn't really understand why, at a young age, why they weren't any. And I asked my mom that, and she goes, well, because that's the way society works, and tried explaining that to me, how unfortunately people degrade people of color just because of their color, and they don't have as many resources of us because of white privilege. And I didn't really understand that, but I'm just oh, okay. And as I got older, I started realizing I was bisexual. And my mom came out to me as bisexual as well. And then I started getting into the LGBT thing, and I joined a lot of accounts on Instagram that we all helped each other and things like that. And I started advocate for them. And then I got into animal rights, became a vegetarian. Now I'm vegan. And yeah, and people in Florida don't,
Yeah.
I kind of just have to ignore them, because Florida is a very conservative state, and it's a red state, so.
So where are you from?
I'm from Halifax, Nova Scotia.
Nova Scotia?
Yep.
Wow.
Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eastern Seaboard.
We have people from everywhere. That's so cool. How did you find out about YEA CAMP?
My mom was actually doing some research, and she came to me and said, do you want to do this instead of your regular summer camp? And I thought it sounded really cool, with the vegan diet and helping animals and stuff. And I've never really had the opportunity to do something like that before. I've loved animals my entire life, but I haven't really been able to do something about it. So I thought this camp would be a really good way to start.
Cool.
Veganism.
You're awesome.
Yeah,
High
thanks.
five.
It's kind of unbelievable to me, to some degree, how far people have come to YEA CAMP. We had a girl at our session in Massachusetts for her second year who's from Australia. We've had several campers from China, from Thailand.
Oh, wow.
Several countries in Europe, Mexico, Canada. It's really blows me away that kids come from so far. Plus, more than half of the states campers have been represented from. They find us. I mean, I think that there's a need out there.
Yeah.
I never had an ambition to start a summer camp. That is for sure. I just wanted something like this to exist, and it didn't.
Creating something for these special kids to kind of get together and recognize that like they're not weird, they're just actually really amazing, and maybe other people where they come from don't get it. I think that's incredible that you've created this space for them and this community for them.
Thank you. I feel like getting to work with some of the most inspiring young people there are. And to see some of the things that they're doing. We've had campers who have gotten Meatless Mondays, not just in their school, but in their entire school district. We've had campers get rid of the styrofoam trays, all kinds of improvements in their recycling at their school, and campers who've done all kinds of fundraisers for different organizations. And it's just like, really gives me a lot of hope to see them starting so young and just getting it in a way that not enough people get it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for having us here.
God, thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, thank you for interviewing with us. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to subscribe below for all of our content, and check out V4Veganism.com, and you can get more information on YEA Camp. Maybe you want to send your kids next summer. And peace.